Right here, bro? Which one?
The live button.
Which one is that? I can't see. The black?
Go live. No. That one. We gotta make sure we live.
Are we official?
We are live.
We're officially live.
We're live. Sorry if y'all can't hear the music. We jamming back here.
You got it up there, man.
We're live. We're live. Live.
All right, today is...
It's fucking Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, March 19th. No, but it is March 19th. We don't have Pinocho today. He will be joining us again at some point soon. It seems like that guy's like such a part-time dude, but he will be full-time soon. I'm gonna make his ass here. I think I'm gonna fucking build a house for him in my backyard.
Oh shit, you gonna build an outhouse?
What's that about?
Because it's outside?
What's that telling me on this
saying,
screen?
That's saying okay.
Yeah, I okay that shit.
Okay.
So anyhow,
we gotta hit live.
Yeah, you might want to hit live. So we're still Twitter sphere. We're ahead of the game.
We're a little ahead of the game.
Are you doing?
That's when you multi-stream shit like this happens.
Multi-streaming, and we still
like and share.
At it, man. So what's up with this shit, man? Are we getting a countdown here?
We're live.
3, 2, 1. So we are.
We are official live on Facebook
on the device that the whole movie was made after. The
Saints and Sinners.
Saints and Sinners.
What today is?
Podcast
what is today?
Today is March 19th, Tuesday. All right, there's your Poncho introduction. Poncho, if y'all see him,
we did
that motherfucker. Bring him back to my home. Get this fucking dude on the air, cause he's been ducking it, man. He's always got that coaching, man.
We're gonna pour out a cold one for him.
That cane break, man. Had to throw a little something out there, man. But we're gonna.
Oh shit, that's one of our sponsors.
Not yet, man. They will be. But not yet. But here we are, man. It's a Tuesday. Spring is basically fucking here. We got a lot of shit coming up in the city of New Orleans. Our people in Twitter across the country, man. I really want to say, do a shout out to the Midwest, man. A lot of states are really feeling it pretty bad with the floods. We know all about that shit down here. So our people in the Midwest areas, I mean, Wisconsin, I know Minnesota, all these places, man.
We're doing this for y'all.
Yeah, man. I feel for y'all. Hopefully it gets better before it gets worse, and things will be good in the end. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. Property can be restored. We've seen it with Katrina, man. Just hopefully there's not a lot of fatalities and that sort of thing. But anyway, we're gonna be local. We're gonna start off with our boys in black and gold, the New Orleans Saints.
They've been pretty active, huh?
We talked about
they got some motherfuckers.
We talked last time.
I would say.
Yeah, we talked about Malcolm Brown coming in. Mario Edwards was another signing. They picked him up, young defensive end. Can play the middle a little bit as well. He's about 280 pounds. Edwards, former Raider. His dad was a player, Mario Edwards, former corner with the Tampa Bay Bucks, among other teams, the Cowboys. So I love those second-generation guys. I always do. I think they have a little bit more of a better understanding of the game.
They understand because they was born with it.
They were born. Look, Cam Jordan. I mean, Mark Ingram, 2 second-generation guys that worked out really well for the Saints. I'm still a little salty on Mark. I like you, Latavius Murray, but I'm still missing my boy Mark. I'm hearing more and more. By the way, I'm hearing more and more from different sources. That's the agent's problem. I heard the agent kind of fucked that up more than anybody. So Mark Ingram's agent, whoever you are, you know what you can do, bro. I got 2 words for you. That's all I can say. But
hey, if we could put it on the agent, at least we got somebody to blame. That's not the team or Mark Ingram.
I like them both. I root for Mark, and I still love the Saints. So, but anyway, man, the Saints right now are in trade talks.
Some would say it would be the easy way out of hating one of those. Parties.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hate you. I think nobody should hate anybody involved. I mean, the Saints. I'm not happy with it, but I'm not like.
I'm just a little
mad. I like Mark Ingram. I think he would have been really useful to the team. I don't think Murray will bring exactly what Ingram brings.
If Murray shot more than Ingram, like I'm not saying it'll happen, but if it does,
won't happen.
Will the fans forget about Ingram?
I mean, I hope Murray does well. I mean, I hope he does. But I think if you want my honest opinion, you better see a lot more of Alvin Kamara. So all you people in fantasy football. Go fucking do whatever you got to do to get Kamara because he's about to be the best fantasy running back along with Barkley for the next 5 years. But my thing, the Saints...
But Sean Payton doesn't really believe in that.
He doesn't, but I mean, I'll tell you this. If there's ever a player, but the way the game is now, Kamara has that potential. I mean, I'm not saying... I mean, he does spread the love around, but I think
you heard that Saints signed Harry Anderson.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I know you just said that.
Harry Anderson?
No, my bad.
Who the fuck is Harry Anderson?
That was a typo. Sorry, my
All
bad.
right, I'm gonna. Steve's gonna do less reading
right,
before
all
he
right.
goes on the air.
All right, I think y'all want to know, just for the people that don't know, this is the people that the Saints have signed. If you want to give me a little quick reaction
Go ahead,
on
man.
each
Go
one.
what you got.
Teddy Bridgewater, I mean, we
All
kind
right.
of talked about
Future
him already.
Future
You
quarterback.
think
Possibly.
he is
Possibly.
the future quarterback, or could they
Possibly.
still
Good backup, possible future guy. I like the move.
Malcolm Brown?
I like the move very
3
much.
years,
Won a Super
15
Bowl.
million.
Won a Super Bowl. They needed that with Sheldon Rankins having the Achilles injury. Tyler Davison. It looks like I don't know what's going to go down with that. David Onyemata could be facing a suspension over weed, which is stupid. But go for it.
Frank the
solid.
Tank is saying finally get a good team and they lose good players.
I mean, I agree with the Ingram thing. I wish they would have kept Ingram personally. I mean, I think they're still going to be fine. I mean, they'll still be an elite team this year. I mean, I think Vegas already has them in the top 3 to win the Super Bowl.
If anybody
With,
can make
New England,
Latavius Murray look
Rams,
good,
or
it's the
Kansas City,
Saints.
depending on which way you look at it. Different sites, you know.
Because he needs some room to run, and they'll give him some room.
But-
They'll give him a little.
But
landing
Brown's
strip to
a
run
good
through.
Brown's a good pickup overall. I like the Malcolm Brown sign. I think he could actually be possibly the biggest impact player they've signed yet, for sure. As far
All right,
as,
Nick Easton, 4
Easton-
years, $24 million.
I
per
thought the
Rappaport.
Saints, you know, we didn't catch. This was after our last podcast. Max Unger, very surprising retirement. Fantasy Jesus, Mr. Highland, and I talked earlier today about this. Unger had a game earlier this year. I'm not sure anybody knows this in our audience, you know, the Twitter sphere or Facebook or YouTube that that knows what's going on with that. But Unger, he left a game late in the year. He was banged up. I don't know if it was the Cowboys game. I'm having a little bit of a hiccup on that. We tried to research it. We couldn't get the exact information, but he left a game and he was a little stunned this year. He had an injury. Because a lot of people, at 32 years old, he left $5 million on the table. So the injury had to be real.
That begets the question: when he started getting hurt, was that when the offense started going south?
It could have been part of it. Well, remember, Andrew
When
Speed
you lose
had
the
an injury
quarterback
as well.
of your
He had an
offensive
injury.
line, you know, the guy that's
Andrew
making a lot
Speed
of
had
the
a hand
blocking
injury.
calls.
Absolutely.
You know, the ball has to touch his hands every single time.
Well, I mean, you know, and that's where I thought maybe they'd go after a familiar face for like an economical contract, like a Josh Laribas, who was really good a couple years back for the Saints.
Him and the quarterback are the only people that's going to definitely touch the ball in every offense.
Absolutely.
play.
I mean, yeah, that's for sure. I mean, but Easton's a solid player. A lot of people thought he would end up somewhere else.
A lot of people just think those guys are just fat guys. You know, some people said, you just get any
That's why that
fat
team.
guy to come, be your offensive
Tom
lineman.
Boyd, Chris Knowles, man.
You could just
there's a reason
anybody,
y'all are
just
not
any
quite to that Saints level yet.
motherfucker, as friends of
Yeah,
mine
no,
would
you
say.
can't just put anybody in offensive line, man. You can't do it. I mean, Easton's gonna
Fuck,
be
just
solid.
go find somebody at the buffet
See,
and
yeah,
fucking
shit
tell them
don't
to
work
start
that
blocking
way.
the fuck out of
And
this
you
shit
could
for
go to
us.
Golden Corral and think you're gonna find yourself an offensive tackle. That shit ain't gonna happen. But I'm telling you,
I mean, they
this,
might
Nick
eat
Easton's
there,
gonna
but the odds of finding
Nick
them
Easton's
there.
solid. I think I'm not in love with Easton. I mean, he got a 4-year, $24 million deal. Solid player for what you needed. You know, he's younger, obviously, than Unger. He could be a solid link in the middle. He's played a lot of guard as well in his career. Easton could be a solid player, though. I mean, I thought they would maybe look at Laribas because of the familiarity. Because, I mean, you got a stud offensive line. You got Larry Warford, a Pro Bowler. You got Ramchick and Armstead, probably one of the best sets of tackles in the league.
You get younger
he's
at the
solid when he's
position.
healthy. You know,
And he's a guy
I
that
like
can-
Pete more than most. You
Is
know?
Easton a guy that can kind of slide along the interior line?
I mean, he could in case you got an injury. That's what. Maybe there's a possibility where you still draft a middle round guy at center if you can find a decent center. Saints have always been pretty good at finding those guys. I mean, let's think about Jari Evans,
Yeah.
future Hall of Famer. Perhaps,
I mean, you
in the
can
middle
find
rounds.
big guys in later rounds, but you need to know
You
what
can.
the
You
fuck
got to
you're
coach
looking
him up
for.
right. You got to know what you're looking for. I mean, and here's my thing as well. Josh Laribas is still possibly out there. I mean, like a guy like that who's got familiarity, Peyton likes to go that route. So we could,
You need to be a big guy.
But Easton, I think Easton is your center of the
big
future. I think
guy
he is your guy, and he can play another
a
position.
big
if
guy
worst came to worst.
with good feet, and good strength.
Yeah, because I mean, you just signed him to a 4-year, $24 million deal to be a journeyman type. He's
you
your
can find those guys in later rounds. It's not the best athlete, and sometimes they got late developers too at that position.
Yeah,
if they get into the right situation, they can have it's like a band of brothers.
Yeah,
your guy on your right side and your guy on your left side. If you trust those guys, even if you look bad in other situations, you can fit in somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean,
it's about a lot of it's about
Unger didn't
coaching
jump in.
as well.
I think Unger had a little bit of a rough start that rookie season, and then by years 2 and 3, Unger became one of the best centers in the league in Seattle years 2 and 3, and then they had that run, But yeah, I mean, Easton's a solid pickup. It's about the best move I think you could have made. at this point with the situation you were given with Unger with a sudden, unexpected retirement. Now, they were saying the Saints knew about this.
We already talked about Mario Edwards. Where did he come from?
Mario Edwards is from the Raiders. He is a fairly high draft pick. I'm pretty sure he was a second-round pick. His dad was a player. His dad was a corner. He's a South area guy. He lived in, I don't want to say he was in high school in Denton, Texas, but he's originally from the Mississippi region. I think Pascagoula or Gaucher, one of those.
Pascagoula.
So he's kind of a Gulf Coast guy a little bit.
Every time I get a chance to pass the Gula, I try to pass it as much as possible.
Pass the Dochi to the left. But hey, man, my thing is this, dude. You got fucking the thing that I like today that's happening. I'm hoping it goes down. If somebody's got some latest info. Before we got on here, we checked this out. But Robert Quinn, the Saints have become a late player in the Robert Quinn trade offerings. The Dolphins are definitely trying to get rid of Quinn. Many people thought they would cut him, but they're trying to. They feel he has trade value, and apparently he does because the Cowboys are chasing him. The Saints have been involved as well today.
Mario Edwards, can you explain 15 games and 2 sacks?
I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, he's going to be a rotational player. He's not starting. I mean, nothing against Mario Edwards, but he's not a starter.
And is that
the starters are Cam Jordan and Davenport? Quinn hopefully could be that third guy.
And that's one of the most important things for defense.
He's a depth piece.
Is having those rotational guys that you don't want to play all 70% of the snaps. But if you can get them out there to give the guys a breather, maybe 1 or 2 series a game. Yeah, that could really help out. And it showed.
I mean, he's got
when
experience.
Philadelphia won their championship.
You got that depth.
They had that depth at the defensive line, and that was one of the biggest factors.
And I'd even say before that,
Super Bowl.
And that's what a lot of people talk about the Philly team. But even before that, Seattle years ago had.
They could just constantly rotate guys in, and you're constantly getting new pressure from different areas, and it's hard for a team to game plan against.
Yeah, Seattle had a ton of those guys.
Especially if you can get pressure with your front four, rotating those guys through.
Absolutely. I mean. But I hope they pull off the Quinn thing. Quinn's a high cap hit next year. He's making right under $13 million as far as the cap hit. They are saying the Dolphins would be interested in possibly taking on some of that salary. So I don't think you're going to give up a ton for Quinn. I think this is basically the Dolphins that didn't get a middle round pick and they could pay off half his salary. They'll be happy with it at this point. The Cowboys, he was supposedly spotted in the Dallas area today. So that's a little scary for Saints fans. But I wasn't even expecting this guy to be on the radar. They chased Ziggy Ansah. That hasn't worked out yet. It was between the Saints and Buffalo at the time. But here's my thing with Robert Quinn. Quinn's a guy, I want to say his third, fourth, and fifth seasons in the league, all double-figure sacks. This guy had a run where he had 19 sacks one year, and he had other 2 seasons built around that with 10 sacks. 3 straight seasons of double-digit sacks. He had 6.5 last year. I want to say 8 the year before that. This guy can rush the passer. If you can get that guy, that specialized pass rusher like a Rob Ninkovich was with the Patriots, John Abraham was late in his career with the Falcons. I mean, those guys can be. You got Cam Jordan and fucking Marcus Davenport, potential to have the best duo of defensive ends in the league. You bring in a Robert Quinn in there as well. I mean, that's fucking pretty sharp. Edwards, Hendrickson, I like the depth all of a sudden. Brown in the middle with Onyemata, with fucking, Sheldon Rankins hopefully being a factor at some point this season coming off the Achilles.
Robert Quinn with. You wait for
He's got, what, 69 career sacks?
Wait for it. 69 career sacks. As Rob Gronkowski would say, he can just quit now. He can retire.
That's right. He's got the perfect number, right?
He's got the perfect number. He's got 69 sacks. He's sacked
coming, y'all.
69 times.
I knew this before, and as soon as C pulled up that fucking stat just now, I said, you know what? He sees the fucking sack numbers. He's going to fucking celebrate this one.
Yes!
He's going to celebrate it.
Get Robert Quinn!
Robert Quinn, man.
Robert Quinn will start off his Saints career in only the perfect way.
He will bring his 69 to New Orleans. That's all he can promise anybody.
They will never take away one of those sacks because then they'll have to own one.
Yeah. 69. I know the number, man. But anyway, here we go.
He's had some decent tackles
Speaking
numbers
of the Cowboys,
too. He's had 57 tackles
Robert Quinn with the Rams was. this guy was one of the best
46 tackle season
for the league. I mean,
Robert Quinn for a pass rusher. That's a lot of tackles.
Dude, Robert Quinn.
We got Chris Knowles and Patrick Riley in the house. Charles Viviano, known as CJ, in the house. He's wondering when we're gonna have our winter. No, he wants to have winter meetings.
I'm ready. Well, it's spring now, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Hey, winter meetings. We could do it this weekend, or we could do it next weekend.
Let's go, dude. This
After
weekend,
that, I have to fucking work.
Oh, no.
So
Chris is going to Orlando Magic.
2 weekends.
Chris is going to Orlando to watch fucking
For the next 2 weeks?
He's going to watch Aaron Gordon and the Magic. He's been planning on this the whole time. He wanted to go see the mighty Orlando Magic play.
Eric Gordon plays for the Magic now?
No, Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon.
He wanted to go see Aaron Gordon and Nikola Vucevic in the Magic. Chris has been waiting all year.
March Madness he wants to talk about.
Oh, hey, you know what? Who's going to win? Is it going to be the Dukes or what? You know what's a crazy stat?
Duke is winning that shit.
Absolutely. I'd bet on Duke.
I have Duke.
LSU's got Yale Thursday morning at 11 o'clock. Dude.
I got Duke in North Carolina myself. That's my.
Oh, that's so fucking. You went so far out the box. See,
I did.
Fucking Duke in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy?
Nobody's seen that shit coming.
I'm gonna say this,
man. You can only
man.
hear it here.
Women, y'all better love me for this one because I'm gonna give some respect to the women's game just for a second before we go into something like that. We're gonna do more. We're gonna do another podcast. I'm hoping to do one possibly tomorrow or Thursday morning before the LSU games. I'm kind of jacked about LSU Yale, man. LSU a 3 seed. I was hoping they'd get a little bit higher. I was hoping they'd get that 2 seed, but Yale in the first round, I think it's a good draw for LSU. I think they can hand those Ivy Leaguers their ass. I mean, Ivy Leaguers, come on, man. Let's be real. Unless you run that Princeton offense, was that Bryce Drew back in the day?
Hey,
come on.
No. Even before that, you remember when who was that beat Georgetown? They had that fucking stacked ass team like Penn or somebody. Right?
Yeah, but they're fucking running geometrical offenses and shit.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Everybody knows when you go to the fucking gym and they have these dudes just play together forever, and they're running fucking like professional sets out there because they just
it's like fucking Hoosiers. Man, these kids have been playing together since they were 3.
I'm like, what the fuck? What even just happened? Like, we got jobs.
It's many times some unathletic white dudes that all they can do is run the perfect fucking route and make the perfect pass. Now, if you ask them to touch the nets, that might be a different story.
You turn around and they got that fucking perfect screen that came out of nowhere.
Well, you know what's bad when you got the cross country guys on your fucking basketball team because you know that's definitely a white guy sport. You know,
it's like the white guy globetrotters out in this motherfucker.
Yeah, if you're on the fucking rowing team and you're on the basketball team, it's Yale. You know what I mean? But here we go.
Yeah, but that's what happened to Georgetown.
You can't fuck around.
Those fucking dudes ran that shit on them.
I'll say
they've
this:
been playing together since they was in
Mark
diapers.
my words. I got nothing against Will Wade. I think some things still need to be determined there. That he's going through the process. But if you lose to fucking Yale, yeah, his job could be gone. I'll say that. I think Pat could probably agree with me on that. If you lose to fucking Yale, I mean, you're not fucking debating the fucking laws of physics. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to fucking look Yale. Come on, man. There's probably half of those fucking kids that fucking never play basketball.
Hey, if you try to find somebody that's going to invent the next Facebook, you go to Yale.
If you want somebody to do the next Zuckerberg and steal a great idea from somebody, I mean, that's Yale. But here's my thing. Sorry, Facebook, but
that's how we are on this Facebook right now because of that shit.
And do the goddamn split already on the Facebook stock. I mean, I got the stock for years now, and Zuckerberg, you've been talking about this damn split that's supposed to happen, and you haven't done it yet. That's why that stock ain't going above 165. But anyway, that was enough stock talk. I want to give a shout out.
Speaking of some crazy shit.
What happened, man? What happened?
Is this about Facebook? The shit that happened on Facebook Live.
What had happened was
that dude fucking shot all the people on Facebook Live.
That's fucked up.
That was fucked up.
I didn't know that was on Facebook Live. I mean, I've read about it and shit.
I read about it. I ain't seen it. Thank God I didn't want to see it. They didn't fucking come up on that shit by accident, but
social media, man, sometimes
that shit's really fucked up. That you could fucking
put
on a body camera and fucking show that shit to millions of people around the world.
That's fucking sick. That's what that is. That's a guy that fucking doesn't deserve to be a human.
Is he not killed yet? They fucking need a fucking hanging cord of that motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely. But to change gears a little bit, talk about the tournament talk. I just gotta say this: what's impressive to me, I think it's the first time in 14 years the Connecticut women do not have a number 1 seed. That's fucking impressive. That's 14 years, I want to say, in a row.
Damn, you was fucking waiting for that one. You had that.
No, but I'm saying, but number 1. I mean, they're like, let's be real. Gino and the women. They do some amazing shit. They have dominated women's college basketball. Like, I think it's either 13 or 14 years in a row. That's incredible. With a number 1 seed, nobody does that. Nobody.
I saw that too on
ESPN. Boncho would be proud of that stat.
He heard it. Fucking, you watch SportsCenter fucking more than fucking once.
Yeah.
Then you fucking know you ain't got no job.
The tournament's coming, man. And speaking a little bit of round ball, I know you're gonna like what Paul Pierce is saying.
Paul Pierce talking about. Fuck that dude. Like in general, like fuck Paul Pierce for faking that injury.
I know you hate the
Fuck
Celtics,
that piece of shit. But what he had to say, man,
he's
got to
a Los
respect it.
Angeles area guy.
He
He's
did
not
get
Celtic
stabbed
anymore.
fucking for talking that shit one time.
Hey man, but
He thought he was fucking bulletproof.
You know what's funny?
He might be bulletproof, but he
See,
wasn't
man,
shake-proof.
My prowess, hey,
Fucking
man,
got shaped
I was
up
big
in the
on
glove
Paul Pierce
like a
from
bitch,
Kansas,
yeah.
man. I love Paul Pierce from Kansas. Anybody remembers me from the 90s can tell you that I was big on Paul Pierce from Kansas. But anyway, Paul Pierce is a baller. But his take, you would like his take. He
What's
wants
his
LeBron James. He thinks the Lakers should move on from James.
And where should he go?
Anywhere but L.A. Apparently, I guess. I don't know. Maybe across the locker room. I don't know. I mean, the Clippers.
If it ain't the right,
he should stay in L.A. Maybe go play for the Clippers.
If it ain't the right deal, then it ain't the right deal. It have to be the right.
I mean,
deal.
there's going to be some situations, but I mean, they were talking about that. If LeBron, I mean, I don't want to waste too much time
if
on the
they
Lakers,
want,
but
if they want to trade a Giannis, I have to say yes.
No, that never will happen. That will never happen. They have to trade the whole city of Los Angeles. Unless Milwaukee and Los Angeles shift
them
places on the map.
motherfuckers would get fucking Jack Nicholson, Denzel, everybody. All the motherfuckers relocate
the owner has the
all
rights
the motherfuckers relocate to Milwaukee. Look.
I don't even know where we're going at this point, folks.
Look, who's that
That's why
motherfucker?
we got to limit the amount of that city and
Who's
takes
that
before
motherfucker
these
that
shows.
played? Dude that played
Who's
on
that?
that movie fucking
Which one?
when he ran around with the chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
You
Texas
know.
Chainsaw Massacre?
No. He fucking threw the chainsaw down the
Oh,
fucking stairs.
Patrick Bateman.
Patrick Bateman.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, he's even
My
going to
favorite-
Milwaukee.
One of my
He's
top
going-
5 movies.
He's going to Milwaukee in this
He's in
deal.
Assault and Cheese
LeBron, Denzel, fucking Jack. Jack could go. I mean,
Fuck, Jack's
It's-
old as shit.
hey, the trip might fucking do him in, but he going.
Yeah, Jack's
he going.
will be taking that trip to the Midwest at this point.
He going.
But
They could even have like Seth Rogen.
yeah, man. Look, hey, here's
They
my
need
thing.
a little comedy after what they did to that dude in Green Bay. Fucking locked him up for no reason.
Ooh,
The
Who
fucking
got
dude on
arrested?
making a murderer.
man, you going to you're
Yeah.
going to a lot of topics right now.
Hey.
See, I don't know if we got enough time in this episode to cover those topics.
Hey, bro, we're only 20 minutes in. We can keep going.
It feels like we've been going for 40, but it's all good, man. But here we
So
are,
you can't
LeBron.
hang with Big Dog.
LeBron, to me, New York has always been the talked about destination. Could that be a possibility at this point? Could it? I mean, possibly, absolutely. If they have a top 2 pick, they have young talented players like Dennis Smith Jr., Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox. I know you're not big on Knox, but he's still very young. I mean, you got to give a guy a little time. Is that enough to lure LeBron out of there for you? Dennis Smith Jr., a top 2 pick perhaps, and Mitchell Robinson and Knox. I mean, I don't know.
I
would do that. I would do that
right now.
heartbeat.
You don't have
exactly.
to fucking think twice about that shit.
I mean, or just somebody else get desperate for LeBron.
I don't
And
know.
say,
Honestly, if they get the number 1 pick, whoever getting the number 1 pick is keeping it. Nobody fucking giving up.
Well, no,
At
not
this
to
point,
Zion,
nobody
no.
giving Zion.
But I mean,
Zion
but
is just
anybody.
Zion's too much to give up. Like I don't even think you'll get him for AD at this point.
No, but here's my thing. You might
He's
not,
like one of the best
but
prospects
AD,
since
the
LeBron.
thing,
Since
AD
LeBron.
AD's in his mid 20s.
But he's one of the best
That's the
prospects
problem.
since LeBron.
Well, LeBron's in his mid 30s. If you give up a first pick overall,
No, I'm
in
talking
the
about
package.
even for AD. I don't think they move Zion for AD.
I don't know, man. I think AD's a little different.
It's a
because
wing and guards league. You need that fucking guy that can change
The reason
the
why
whole
they
franchise.
the reason why they do it for AD, I'll tell you why. I think he'll get moved. Possibly. for
Giannis
AD.
made fucking Milwaukee relevant.
No, but here's why he could get moved for AD. Because I think he's a perfect fit with a Durant and Irving combination. I don't think LeBron, Durant, and Irving have that same effect. I think AD, Irving, and LeBron have a little more of a dynamic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sorry, Durant have a little more of a dynamic. You know what I'm saying, going forward. Because Durant, everybody's saying this is like where he's going, New York.
Mhm.
And Irving may follow suit. And the Knicks they'll be on the phone with the Pelicans as soon as the season ends. I promise you that. Especially once that lottery ball drops, because that'll be in the playoffs.
So you saying they're gonna get
in the
LeBron
postseason.
and AD?
No. Durant, Irving, and AD is very possible for the Knicks. It's extremely possible because the Pelicans, as a Pelicans fan, I would take that same deal. I'd take a top 2 pick. I would take Dennis Smith Jr. I would take Mitchell Robinson and Kevin Knox. I would do that trade right now. I would do it right now. And I know another.
Michelle in the house.
Oh, there we go, Don. What you think, man, about these Saints, man? I mean, I think we're doing some good things, man. I want to see this Robert Quinn deal go down. I'd like to see that happen, but I don't want to take him at $13 million this year. He's a free agent. He's a free agent. He's a free agent after this year. So that's
He also
you get
visited.
flexibility.
He also visited Dallas. Looks like.
Yeah, well, Dallas has been they've been talking about that over the weekend. It looks like Dallas and him have been connected, but Dallas is
You
taking
worry
a while
when
to
he
do this deal.
leaves. When he leaves without getting a
If
deal.
he doesn't get a contract in Dallas,
When you leave without getting a deal, then it opens up the door.
if he goes to Dallas and eats some of that bland ass fucking North Texas food, then he comes down here.
If
He
he
comes
goes
to
get
Bourbon
Chachi's,
Street.
he might be sold.
He might be, man, but if he comes get some of that Savoy's
He gets some.
Boudin,
He gets some of that Whataburger. That Whataburger, the
But hey, we
Whataburger
got
will get you.
Whataburger in Louisiana. You can go 45 minutes down the road to Gonzales and get some Whataburger, man. When he sees that cane break, when he sees that Savoy's Boudin, when he goes to Drago's and gets
Savoy's
that Boudin,
Boudin. Who's that? Somebody that we know.
we know what's up with that.
Who moves that
We know
Boudin?
Cousin Don's got that Boudin, man. I'll tell you
Man,
that.
we need to have it right here on the front of this table.
Yeah, the
let everybody
sausages.
know what's
That's
up.
going to be when Pancho comes on for the next show. Pancho's going to have sausages around his neck. That's just happened because he missed so many shows with coaching lately.
Hey.
He's going to have to. That's his reinitiation into the group.
Hey, when I walked in and watching that movie that time,
And by the way, if anybody knows what a dancing bear is, let us know because Pancho and one of our.
Hey, y'all can hit us
good
up on a
buddies-
direct message if y'all don't want to be associated
Nobody on
with that
Twitter
over the
has
open
yet to
airwaves.
know what dancing bear is, and I'm with
Just
it.
don't send any unsolicited videos because, I just want to know what it is. I want description, not videos.
That's what it is. But the Saints, hey, Robert Quinn, you know why he's enticing to me? He's got 60.
He
I'm
can get.
I'm grabbing that number, but trying to
He can
celebrate.
sack the
69
ball.
career sacks.
He can sack the quarterback.
He's got if the Dolphins are willing to pay at least half his salary, where he's a $6 million cap hit or so, I'm cool with that. He's a free agent to be. He's a guy that's about to be 29 years old. If you get him in house right now, you can get Quinn, bring him into a place he's comfortable with. He may sign a 3-year team-friendly deal into his 30s. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. If he comes out and balls out of control, he might want to go through that last contract. But he's on a very lucrative deal right now, and he might be like, hey, fuck it, I want to win. I like New Orleans. I'll take that 3-year, $15 million deal or less. Because, you have Davenport in place already. You're not going to overpay him. But maybe he'll work. He'll be, hey, I work well in this set with these guys. I can be that part-time pass rusher. I don't have to play first and second down sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I would take a Robert Quinn for $3 to $5 million a year for the next couple of years in that role. That's to me that makes perfect sense.
He's always been a guy that can get after the quarterback. He's only 28 years old.
That's what I'm saying. 15 sacks the last 2 years. That's not blowing the world up, but it's still solid. You can get to the quarterback. He had a 19 sack season. This guy fucking, he's a 3-time, I think, double-digit sack guy. That's guys that can rush the passer. You need that. Think about that. Hey, look, if you sack Case Keenum, that play to Diggs never happens. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Getting to the quarterback is huge.
They can make the numbers work.
I think they can. With Breeze with the restructure, they've been pretty
They saved
economical.
$10 million with the.
They've been pretty, and we
They
wrote
did
that in
sign-
our article.
But they signed a few
504sports.net.
players though as well.
They have, but Mickey Loomis this is where he's strong, man. He can finagle numbers. I think Teron Armstead's another restructure possibility. Teron has missed 21 combined games the last 3 seasons. I think he kind of owes us one. I like Teron Armstead as a player. Talent-wise, he's top 5 at his position if he stays healthy. You know what I'm saying? But that's been a little bit of an if in his career, So, to me, Teron, a restructure. And there's a talk. Cam Jordan. A lot of people saying deep, if you look at the contract deeply, Cam Jordan could be restructured where you could save money this year and it could benefit him in the long term. There's a weird way of working that deal out. I got to go a little more. Next podcast, I'll get a little more information on that because it's complicated, but that can happen.
Don said thanks for the mention. He's gonna hook up with the sausages. We're gonna dump
Pancho's gonna have the
We're
sausage
gonna dump
in
him on
hand.
Pancho's hands.
Pancho's gonna have. He's the first guy to handle the sausage on here.
Yeah, he's gonna cook it.
Hell yeah,
everything.
man. Speaking of that, man, this weekend, that's what we're going to be doing at the house, man. Grilling. It's going to be a perfect grilling weekend, man. It's going to be 75 degrees. Time to drink some cane break or some slack water.
Oh, yeah,
some
yeah.
Yingling, a little PBR,
That's one of our
maybe a little
sponsors too.
beer. Hey, man, we're working on that, man.
Working
That's
on it.
getting worked right now from one of our guys, man. But you want to give a shout out to our boys in the Loyalty Club,
Oh yeah,
too, man.
our boys at the
Jared
Loyalty
Warner
Club. That's some of the
company,
best
huh?
clothes. Y'all, we got coming up. You're gonna see.
You gotta get some pictures on. We gotta throw some
You're gonna
pictures
see.
on the website.
You're gonna
man,
see.
and
You're
on
gonna
here.
see
I'll
some
get
of
on
these
the-
clothes because I'm gonna start sporting them on the show so y'all can see what's going on with this. Not just the clothing line. It's a lifestyle.
I love it, man. But Jared's doing some good things with those clothes, man. Downtown New Orleans on Fulton Street, man. He's
Fulton
for real.
Street,
He's
yeah.
legit. Got the
Go down there.
brick and mortar store down there,
Shit,
man.
you go there, get you a nice fit. Then you go down, you get you some rum house tacos.
That's what you got to
Then
do.
you just keep walking and you just take in all the sights, enjoy
Make
yourself.
a day of it, man. But you know it's crazy. You know it's wild. Speaking of brick and mortar stores, man, I love Amazon, dude, but we gotta support businesses, man, like that because you know what's happening, man. And I mean, not so much because they're not based here, but still, man. You heard about? I read a list today of all these places gonna be closing, man. They're saying Gap is gonna be done after this year.
Yeah, online stores are closing all of these stores.
They are.
That's why
I just bought the wife some shit from Phoenix at some boutique that probably nobody's ever heard of.
Drive around.
But she's not going to the mall buying.
Drive
she's
around your
from
suburbs
Phoenix,
and look
Arizona,
at how
boutique.
many businesses they have
Online
shuttered.
boutique.
Drive around your neighborhood and see how many businesses are shut down.
People are freaking lazy now. They don't want to leave the damn house, you know?
Yeah.
And then you got fucking people bringing you Wendy's. I mean, I'm watching a fucking Pelicans game.
All they're gonna have is these super warehouses that are kind of close to your neighborhood.
People are getting
and
fucking
you're gonna see
Baconators delivered, and they wonder why they fucking have heart disease.
No, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You know it's happened just recently? I started noticing. Fuck, I see more Amazon trucks than I see UPS trucks.
You're starting to see them a lot, huh?
Everywhere.
It's starting to
Everywhere.
get
They're in your neighborhood. Trust
Amazon is massive, dude. I mean, it's
Those are some
insane.
those people make
Buy that
deliveries
stock.
all
It's high, but you
day
could buy that stock.
long.
Dude.
Like you can't go you can't go 2 minutes on the road without seeing one. I
That
promise
stock
you.
is not going anywhere.
They're going everywhere. One of our
No, that
buddies,
stock's
Marco
going up.
Laurie,
So
I heard drives for him.
All right, Marco, a guy who raps occasionally on the show, man. Where's Marco?
Yeah, we gotta shout out to him. I gotta tag him in one of these future episodes.
But you know what?
I don't think he's on your
But
face.
you talk about all these places. We know Toys R Us shut the fuck down. Payless shut down. Gap's closing. What's that? Charlotte Russe. I know it's a women's store.
All they're
shut
gonna
down.
have is little strip malls that
Dude,
have a couple
Kmart and Sears
stores.
have shut down so badly.
You
They're
know,
so
the
limited.
bigger stores, all your bigger
Victoria's
stores,
Secret is losing people. You know
except for
what I'm saying?
Walmart. There's gonna always be a Walmart,
Oh,
but
Walmart's
they deliver too. You know,
people are getting lazier and lazier. That's happening in this world, man. I mean, you gotta sometimes say, "What
Yeah,
the fuck?" and actually get out your
you
house.
lay on your bed and lay on your bed. Next thing you know, your life's over.
Yeah,
Fuck that
exactly.
shit.
That's what I'm saying. Get the fuck out, people. I mean, there's a lot of festivals.
Interact with a podcast, fucking do something,
I mean, shit, we're about to start having a mobile podcast. That's what we need. We need to fucking go out. We're going to be outside soon on the deck again, man, grilling up some shit. Maybe Saturday. We might do a Saturday impromptu fucking podcast.
We just got to get a really good mobile internet connection.
Yeah,
so we can
that's
do
part of it, too. I'm going to have to holler at them dudes at AT&T, man, because they've been fucking up
Those
lately.
motherfuckers.
But, but anyhow, man, I think,
I think with all of these moves, I think it begets the question. You solidified a lot of areas you kind of,
tight end still. Where is that?
Put a lot.
Is that draft or what? Is that still?
I don't know. They
Jared
said they liked
been-
Hill.
I mean, I like Hill and Dan Arnold, but I mean that's what I'm saying. Maybe that means they're going to go in the draft and take a shot at the draft.
But
they like Hill and Arnold.
One of the top three guys going to be there at the end of the second. Do you move up? Do you mortgage
I think
again?
No, I don't know if I mortgage that hard.
If you can get up into the early first, you look at like an Irv Smith or one of the Iowa tight ends slips into the second.
I think you can get Smith in the mid-second because I think the quarterbacks are still. I think you might have a couple quarterbacks go off early in the second. I think the running backs will start.
Because there is a tight end thirst a little bit.
There is
a need for replenishment.
But we know running backs. There's always that early second round.
A lot of teams have big holes.
First.
Even some good teams.
Well,
Saints, the
Patriots.
Patriots.
Look at last year. Darius Geis, Nick Chubb, Kerryon Johnson. Second round running backs start coming up and beyond. You know what I'm saying? The running backs will probably fly off the board a little bit. You're going to have receivers. This is a super deep receiver draft. You've got quarterbacks like Jones and Greer.
But when you have so many receivers, a lot of receivers get pushed. They get pushed in the third and fourth round.
Irv Smith could be there middle of the second round. And I mean, you're not talking about giving up next year's first for him. You're talking about maybe a player, maybe giving up a third or fourth or something. Something not as monumental. When you're in that top 30 area.
When you go up 15 picks, you might have to give up next year's second.
Maybe, and that might not be that horrible of a trade-off, but I mean, you figure it out. You see what's.
Because if you feel you're going to be at the end of the second, you might just be giving up, a late second.
Maybe you do. Maybe give up next year's third, this year's fourth and fifth.
Other teams have to think of it like that because that's where you finished the last.
Well, yeah, I mean, they might be looking at like shit. We really like 3 or 4 guys that aren't ready to go for the next 20 picks, and they see that.
So it's going to
as a
definitely.
possibility,
I think if you have to move up 15, 13 spots, whatever it is. you might have to give up next
I
year's
mean, it's
second.
possible.
Is it worth
It's
it?
possible. I mean, if you like Irv Smith that much, I think it is. I mean,
'Cause I don't
it
think-
ain't going to be fun. It ain't
Because
gonna
I
be
don't think you
know?
get up one of those guys unless they slip into the second
No,
round.
those guys will probably be first round picks, or at the worst top 40.
So the Saints would have to give up next year's first.
No,
to
you don't
get
want to do
get
that.
into
You don't
one
do
of
that.
those
Not for a
guys.
tight end. That's a little too much for me to pay with a tight end. Not when you got Michael Thomas and
Because
Alvin
I think,
Kamara.
personally, I think Hawk's going to go in the top 15. So.
Well, you know what's funny? We had a guy, man. I'll tell you, a guy that we really, and I'll tell you this, the Saints didn't go after the number 2 receiver. Meredith coming back. I'm not wild about Meredith yet.
But
has
you
to
kind of
prove it out
married
me.
to him at this point.
You're married to him for one more year, but the guys, me and Fantasy Jesus were talking about this earlier. I still really like Traquan Smith. We keep talking about, I think he'll get better. I mean, this guy came from a small college, not a big powerhouse football college in UCF. You came to a complex offense. He showed flashes last year. But a guy, to me, that goes under the radar that people don't talk about enough is Keith Kirkwood. I think Kirkwood runs very professional routes. He's got good hands. He looks like he's been doing this for years. And you know who that brings? Adam and I were talking about this earlier, Fantasy Jesus.
That's
It reminded us of a certain player that in 2006 was a rookie.
I know who you're talking about.
And this guy looked in preseason like, damn, this dude looks like he's been in the league for 3 or 4 years. He's very smooth. He's fundamental. He looks like him and Breeze have a thing going already, like a good chemistry. He looked like Marcus Colston. And I'm not saying Kirkwood's going to be the next Marcus Colston, people, but when you show that kind of ability, it's a good thing going forward. Keith Kirkwood could be a real sleeper in this receiving core. That's all I'm saying. So maybe that's part of the reason we didn't go after that receiver, and maybe that's part of the reason why you don't go too wild looking for a tight end. You know what I'm saying? I think, and there's some other guys besides Irv Smith, Fine, and
or if it gets
too.
the question, do they like one of these receivers in this draft?
I don't think they draft a receiver. I really don't. I think even though it's a rich receiver draft, when you got Michael Thomas, when you got Traquan Smith,
I mean, when you got some
Kirkwood,
guys that would go in the
receiver.
first and second round, slipping into the third and fourth.
I mean, I think fourth and fifth is where you start.
And they fall in love with one of these guys, and they think that it could be a difference.
But here's my reason. And another guy too, Fantasy Jesus brought this up to me as well. Is another guy that gets overlooked, and this is a guy that ate Ohio State's
Martinez
lunch.
in the house.
A guy that ate Ohio State's lunch is Simi Cobbs out of University of Indiana. He was in Washington's organization. They let him go because Washington's fucking terrible. They were horrible. They just picked Case Keenum up to be their quarterback. They've been
taking for Tua.
They're taking for Tua basically. Daniel, Snyder got there. They've been a fucking joke for a long time. But they let Simi Cobbs roll in the shit receiving core that they have. That they gave Paul Richardson a stupid ass contract. They let Simi Cobbs roll. Simi Cobbs some people thought he'd be a second round talent last year. All right, he had a couple things go against him in the combine, different things, whatever. But Cobbs is in house with the Saints. I think between Cobbs, Traquan Smith, and Kirkwood, you got enough young players at receiver. You don't have to draft one just because this is a rich draft of receivers. I think you focus this draft on defensive line. I think you need even more depth. Never can have too much depth there. I think
a lot
offensive
of winning
line,
teams, that's the formula for
offensive line. You can get depth on
defensive line.
And I'll say this too. You never know, man. Even though you got Bridgewater in house, don't be surprised. A guy like McSorley from Penn State, who a lot of people compare kind of like a poor man's Breeze. McSorley could be a guy.
McFly?
McSorley could be a guy. And another position, and there's another one. I wouldn't doubt if they went for a running back. You know what I'm saying? You got Kamara and Latavius Murray. You don't know what Murray's going to give you exactly yet. He's a solid pro, but you could go running back. Now, I know we had Washington in house, and he looked good late in the year, but tight end, running back. You can go a lot of ways. I don't think they go receiver. I think they're comfortable at receiver.
The good
I
thing
think
is
they're
they
comfortable
have
at
a lot.
quarterback.
They're pretty good at a few positions, so they don't
Yeah,
have as
like
many
corner,
needs as they've had
receiver.
in the
I don't
past.
think you need anything at corner and receiver. Maybe defensive end, depending on what happens with Quinn. But defensive tackle, offensive line. I mean, there's some areas you could adjust. It wouldn't surprise me they went running back. But receiver, I think they're okay, man. I think you're pretty damn stacked at receiver.
So you got
That's Tommy Lee Lewis walked today. He's with the Lions now, but I don't think that hurts us too much.
So
But
Thomas,
wish Tommy the best of luck for sure. Yeah, I mean, you got Traquan, you got Kirkwood, you got Ted Ginn Jr., Simi Cobbs is in house, a guy who may watch in preseason next year. That's a guy to keep an eye on next preseason in August. Simi Cobbs, very physical guy, plays big, very big fellow.
Thomas, Cobbs, who else you got?
I mean, shit, when Thomas.
It's 4, right?
Thomas, Kirkwood, Traquan Smith, Ted Ginn Jr., Cobbs, you got Cam
Ginn's still
Meredith.
there?
Yeah, Ginn's still there. Cam Meredith is there for one more year. Hopefully Meredith gives us something, which he didn't this year. He wasn't 100%. Really didn't produce.
Yeah, they got a few receivers.
They got receivers.
As
I
long
mean,
as
that's
they
why I
hold
don't think
on
you
to
need.
all of them.
I think you focus on other areas. I mean, just because it's a rich draft and something doesn't mean you have to go down that road. You know what I mean? because that means somebody in another position is gonna fall to you, you know.
Mhm.
But I guess it's time for us to get the fuck out of
Gotta
here.
fucking roll the fuck out of here.
We're gonna be doing a little outdoor cookout this weekend, man. Poncho hopefully back on board. You know, I know his coaching thing during the week's been hurting him lately, but that's about to end soon. But we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that sausage on the thing.
Saints
we're
and
gonna be
sinners,
grilling that sausage.
motherfuckers.
Saints and Sinners podcast.
We definitely
Drop the mic.
don't smoke anything on national television.
We're still on, man. Don't talk
Oh,
about
shit,
reefer.
we're
Don't
still
talk about
on.
the reefer.